Diversity flags are flying. The equity banners have been hung. Massage therapists have been on the Bristol, Connecticut campus of Woke U all day, massaging hands, getting those hands prepped for the inevitable Woke Hug celebrations. Catering has been stocked with the dual threat cucumber. Donnie was able to squeeze an extra gallon of lemonade out of his lemons. The escort service has had 4 weeks to prepare a truckload of inflatable irises, so each birthing person had a date for the dance. Gender fluid fraternities and sororities will be partying until the wee hours of the morning at Woke U Bristol. Well, KC, what is the reason for this celebration? Guys, come on! You really didn't know? First off, these people need no reason for a Woke Hug celebration. The sun is out. Woke Hug. I have been reunited with my emotional support shovel. Woke Hug. My Cocker Spaniel is transitioning from canine to feline. Woke Hug. The shitfucks at ESPN have an actual reason to celebrate tonight. There will be plenty of hand lotion and Preparation H as they celebrate the 20th anniversary of Around the Horn. Around the Horn? That show is still on the air? When I was in high school and college, Around the Horn, it was appointment television for us. Back then, you didn't have 24 hours of debate shows like we have today. It was pretty much Around the Horn and PTI. The show sucked when Max Kellerman was the host, which is no surprise. I mean, Max Kellerman can suck the air out of a deflated balloon. ESPN recognized the failure of Max Kellerman and brought in a then unknown Tony Reali to replace him. Tony Reali was the perfect host. He quickly developed chemistry with the panel. Woody Page, Jay Mariotti, Tim Kalishaw, Jackie McMullen, Bill Plaschke, before he was an insufferable shitfuck. The show back then was great. 4 panelists debating sports, Tony Reali jumping in here and there to give them a hard time. Around the Horn resonated with viewers. The show easily drew 750,000 viewers every day, some episodes approaching 1 million. They were able to maintain this success for over 15 years. Over time, as streaming became more popular and people began shifting away from linear television, ratings for Around the Horn, it started to decline a little bit, but even with that being the case, Around the Horn was still drawing respectable ratings. Just 4 or 5 years ago, the show was averaging between 600,000 and 700,000 viewers. Fast forward to 2022, Around the Horn, 479,000 viewers. And that number is during the peak season. This is during NFL season. If you look at their ratings during the summer, the show is barely eclipsing 300,000. So in the span of 4, maybe 5 years, how did this once popular franchise lose 50% of its audience? When you look at it on paper, it doesn't seem to make sense. PTI has been able to maintain respectable ratings. Timeslot hadn't changed. Around the Horn has been the lead-in for PTI for 20 years now? How can one show maintain viewership while the other sees a 50% decline? The answer, at least for me, is simple. It's the panel. If there is one thing television viewers like more than anything else, it's consistency. We all have expectations when we turn on our favorite TV shows. When you turn on PTI, you expect to see Mike Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser. The handful of people who watch Undisputedly Woke tune in expecting to see a diva duel between Shay and Skippy Bay. Around the Horn used to have the same consistency. Now sure, they rotated a panelist here and there, but for the most part, it was the same faces every day. Today when you tune in, you don't know who the hell you're going to be watching. And to make matters worse, the panelists on Around the Horn, absolutely dreadful. 5 years ago, Mina made her unanticipated debut on Around the Horn. Here we are 5 years later, still wondering why Mina is a regular on this show. Other than a pretty face, she provides no substance or value. Watch how Mina made her debut. You tell me if this is entertaining, captivating television. Roll the film.
Do we have Mina? We
yeah,
have
whatever,
Mina.
whatever,
There
Tim.
we go.
Hey, Mina. How's it going?
Hi,
Mina's got
Mina.
ears.
Hey,
Mina, how you feeling?
good. I can
All right.
hear you.
All right, good.
Hopefully
That's a good
others.
thing. If you can hear everybody else in a proper
You don't
volume.
need
That's
to
a
hear
good thing.
Kalishaw. Like I said, everything Kalishaw says is
A lot of
I'm
it
going
phlegm.
against three people with a
Mostly
combined
phlegm.
89 wins. I'm supposed to fear this panel?
What are you at right now, Timmy?
418.
Understand when they all
418.
I have more wins than the other three people have shows, but let's
Yeah.
not.
Okay. Okay. So Mina, you've got 30 seconds. Your life story. Start at the beginning. Leave nothing out. Go ahead, please.
born in Omaha, Nebraska. Not many people know that. Lived in
Really? So we
7
got
or
that
8
going
states.
for us in the show. Great.
College
Yeah.
World Series.
College World Series.
I've lived all over the country. Now I'm in LA. Been at ESPN since 2014. Before that, I was an investigative journalist.
What the hell was that? The Petey Pablo guy's over there in the corner, frantically waving like he had just seen Barney. Sarah Spain is on her phone, scrolling through her matches on Farmers Only, checking out which lucky shovel she'll be breaking later. Then we were lucky enough to be given the life story of Mina Kimes. Who cares? Who cares? I don't want to hear Mina Kimes recite meaningless NFL statistics. I damn sure don't care to hear her life story. Pablo Torre is another regular panelist. KC, who in the hell is that? He's the brother in failure to Bomani Jones. Throughout their time receiving woke welfare, or what they both call a media career, Petey and Bomani have been competing to see who could be the biggest failure. Now, obviously, this is no competition. I mean, no one does failure like Bomani Jones, but Petey, he damn sure tries. Around the Horn went from being a debate show featuring real journalists, actual sports writers, people who had spent years covering the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. It went from being a debate show with informed, respected opinions to being another show on ESPN dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We must feature a woman. We must have a minority voice. People may have disliked or even hated Jay Mariotti, but at least he offered a respectable, informed perspective. Woody Page is a goof, but he has decades of experience. You know how Sarah Spain got her start in the media? She put herself on eBay, offering to be someone's date for the Super Bowl. She openly admitted that she was doing this for attention. In other words, Sarah Spain is an admitted clout chaser. And just like her sister in woke Mina Kimes, Sarah Spain, also a professional victim. Back in 2016, she started a movement, or she tried to start a movement called More Than Mean. She went out and found ordinary dudes on the street and had them read mean tweets and emails that she had received. Now, what was the point in all of this? It was to show the world that I am a victim. Toxic masculinity doesn't want to hear my opinion because I'm a woman. No, we don't want to hear your opinion because you are an insufferable fuck. This started a trend with women at ESPN. Just earlier this year, Mina Kimes did the same thing. Posted a DM she received on Twitter begging her lonely male followers to feel sorry for her. When the panelists of Around the Horn aren't playing the role of professional victim, they're using the airwaves provided by ESPN to preach the good word, spread the woke faith. Let me give you a couple of examples of what you could see if you chose to watch this garbage today. Roll the film.
You guys may have heard last night about the shootings that happened at 3 massage parlors around Atlanta. 8 people lost their lives. 6 of them were Asian, so many of them women. And this is a story, Tony, that is just the latest step in a horrifying year that has been defined for Asian Americans by hate crimes and racist abuse and bigotry. And the upshot in all of this is that a lot of Asian Americans feel unsafe. Oftentimes we're afraid to say that. We're afraid to butt into the conversation because we often feel like maybe it's not our place. But this is our place. It is our time to be heard and to have a seat at the table. And if you're not Asian American and you're listening to this and processing this, please take the time to listen and take what we're saying seriously, because Asian lives do matter, and so does the conversation that we're finally having around people who hopefully can get more that they deserve.
Tampa pitcher Jason Adams to the Tampa Bay Times. Hard decision, because ultimately we all said we want them to know that they are welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle that maybe, not that they look down on or anything or differently, it's just that maybe we don't want to encourage if we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. Sarah Spain, how does that all come off to you?
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic, which is what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
My God, Sarah Spain, my God. Sarah Spain is absolutely revolting. I had actually forgotten about this clip until I was digging through my video archives this afternoon. This woman is a shining example of privilege, calling out baseball players for their so-called privilege. Players at the major league level, they had to bust ass their entire life to get to that point. All Sarah Spain had to do was auction herself to the highest bidder. Now, which sounds more like privilege to you? And what the hell was Pablo Torre talking about? I don't remember what specific incident that was from March 2021. I think it was a shooting in Atlanta or something like that. Either way, what the hell does that have to do with sports? If I wanted to know more about a shooting in Atlanta, I would turn on CNN, Fox News. I don't give a shit what a supposed sports journalist thinks about a spike in crime in the Asian community. Is it any wonder why ratings for Around the Horn have tanked? Is it any wonder why this show has lost 50% of its audience? Over the last 2 days, some of the rotating panel of shitfucks have been on Twitter promoting the special 20th anniversary. How is Sarah Spain promoting the show? Check it out for yourself. I'm so confused. How come parents aren't worried about children being slaughtered at school? They are more concerned with the teacher exposing his weekend performances at the Shaggin' Dragon. Yeah? I don't know if Sarah Spain has children. It is entirely possible she formed a relationship with one of the Shovels on Farmers Only and gave birth to a rake. But normal parents are obviously concerned about a school shooting, but the likelihood of that happening is rare. Young kids, they are much more likely to be exposed to some shitfuck teaching them about proper pronouns than be victims of the school shooting. This mentality of Sarah Spain is prevalent throughout ESPN, where promoting the cause has become more important than doing your job. I don't watch Around the Horn anymore, haven't watched it in years. What about you guys? Do you subject yourself to this filth? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications for the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, kc_btl84 on Twitter. See you guys tomorrow.